In today's video, we'll check out the Pironman 5 Mini for the Raspberry Pi 5. This case is substantially easier to assemble than other Pironman 5 models and at a much cheaper price. In this video, we'll unbox it, step through the full assembly, install PiOS Trixie to the internal NVMe drive, and set up the Pironman 5 software. I'm John, and welcome to Wagner's Tech Talk. Just to make you aware, there are at present 3 different variants of the Pironman 5 cases. The original silver Pironman 5 case has one NVMe slot for an SSD or the AI Accelerator, an OLED display, a tower cooler, and dual RGB fans. The black Pironman 5 Max case has dual NVMe slots, which can be used with SSDs or AI Accelerator, an OLED display, a tower cooler, and dual RGB fans. Both of these models are a bit larger and have improved tower cooling, and the assembly is a bit more involved. The model discussed in this video is the Pironman 5 Mini, which is a bit smaller than the other 2 models. It includes a single NVMe slot for either an SSD or the AI Accelerator, an active cooler rather than a tower cooler, an RGB fan, and it is a bit easier to assemble. There is no OLED display, but it's also less expensive than the other 2 models. I would like to thank SunFounder for sending over this unit for us to check out on the channel. I've marked this video as sponsored simply because SunFounder sent it at no charge. However, I was not paid for this video, and all opinions are my own. To fully utilize this case, you will need a Raspberry Pi 5 and a power supply, which are not included. You'll likely want an NVMe drive, such as this 500GB Lexar SSD or an AI Accelerator, a USB microSD card reader such as this Beagle reader, and a microSD card. If you have an Ethernet connection, you can also install an image via the network without the need for a microSD. SunFounder consistently includes excellent assembly instructions and resources on their website. As mentioned, this case is much easier to assemble than the other Pironman 5 models and only includes 12 steps, which we'll go through in this video. We'll quickly take a look at what's included in the box. We'll see all the components again shortly. Here we have one of the 2 acrylic plates, a small screwdriver, thermal and silicone pads, a power switch and FPC cables, various standoffs and screws, the active cooler, the Pironman 5 Mini hat, which is where the battery and NVMe drive will be installed, an RGB fan, the metal case, and the other acrylic panel. Now, with all these parts shown, we'll step through the full assembly. If you'd like to skip around, I've placed markers below to make it easier for you to jump to what you're most interested in. In step 1, we'll start with the 4 M.2.5 by 6 plus 5 and 4 M.2.5 by 20 standoffs. Take the smaller standoff from the bottom and tighten the larger standoff from the top. You'll then repeat this step for all 4 of the outer screw locations on the Pi 5. Make sure they are tightened well on each of those locations. Next, we'll add the thermal pads. I like to position them where they go before removing the protective covers, just to make sure that I know where each one fits the best. Then take each of the pads and peel off one side, place it over the chip, give it a good press at the top, and then peel off the backing on the top side. Then repeat for all 4 locations. Tweezers did make it a little easier for me, but you can certainly use your fingernails. Just line them up as best you can. For step 2, take the active cooler and position the cable over the connector such that the yellow wire is on the outside. If there is a small plastic cover over the connector, remove that first. Use tweezers or the small screwdriver to make sure that the cable is pressed down well into the connector. Now take the 2 pegs for the active cooler and press each through the 2 holes on the active cooler. I used a pair of needle nose pliers for this to make it a little bit easier. Then position the active cooler over the thermal pads and line up the holes with the 2 holes on the Pi 5. Then press down from the top and put the pegs through the Pi. For steps 3 and 4, take the 2-pin wire and insert it into the port on the mini head. On the Pi, raise up on the latch to the PCIe connector, insert the FPC cable such that the black tape is facing outward. Then press down on the latch to lock it into place. On the hat, raise up on the latch, insert the other end of the FPC cable, and press down on the latch to lock it into place. Do be very gentle with both ends of the connectors. I do wish the FPC cable was slightly longer. Now take the opposite end of the 2-pin wire and plug it into the connector nearest the USB-C power input on the Pi. Fold the hat over the Pi. Make sure the pogo pins are touching the 2 pin locations on the Pi 5. Line up the pins over the GPIO connector and gently press down on the left and right side until the hat sits flush with the 4 standoffs. Now take 4 M.2 by 4 screws and screw them into each of the 4 locations from the top of the hat. Take the CR1220 cell battery with the positive side up and press it down into the battery location. In step 5, we'll install the NVMe drive or AI Accelerator. One quick way to tell where you need to place the SSD stud is to insert the drive and press down. However, the locations of each drive size are printed on the hat if you already know the size that you'll be using. Then just screw in the SSD stud, insert the drive, press down, and secure with the SSD screw. We're halfway done, and step 6 is super easy. Just take the Pi plus hat assembly and place it into the Pironman 5 mini case. You'll find it easier if you bring it down at a slight angle into the ports at the back. In this step, take 4 M.2 by 4 screws, line up the holes to the standoffs on the Pi, and screw in all 4 screws. Then take 4 silicone pads, remove the protective backing, and insert each into the grooves on the bottom of the Pironman 5 metal case. In step 8, take the power switch and unscrew the metal nut at the back and completely remove it from the switch. Feed the switch through the front of the case, then reinsert the nut and tighten it at the back inside of the case. Locate the button connector on the hat, remove the plastic cover, then insert the 2-pin switch wire into the connector and make sure it's pressed down really well. In this step, we'll simply remove the backing to both pieces of the acrylic panels. You'll likely have several smaller pieces still stuck to the panels here and there. Just scrape them off with your fingernail. In step 10, you'll use 4 M.3 by 10 screws to secure the fan to the acrylic plate A. The labeled area of the GPIO pins will be on the outside and screw in from that same side. I recommend just starting each of the 4 fan screws with a smaller screwdriver, then use a larger Phillips head screwdriver to tighten it all the way. Now locate the fan connector to the left of the GPIO pins. Insert the fan connector such that the yellow wire is on the far left. Now take the acrylic plate A and place it over the side with the GPIO pins. Then using 4 M.2 by 6 screws, tighten the acrylic plate to the metal case. For step 12, these light pipes were pre-installed at the factory, and this bag is marked as spare parts. You can just barely see the light pipes sticking out on the inside of the case. Now take the acrylic plate B and place it over the 3 connectors on the Pi 5. Using 4 M.2 by 6 screws, secure the acrylic panel to the metal case. Don't worry, you will have a lot of spare parts. It doesn't necessarily mean you missed a step. Congratulations, you have just completed the assembly. The case looks pretty sharp. The acrylic is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. One point I do want to make is that if you don't see any video signal when you power on the Pi, make sure that you press the HDMI connector in really well. Also, on the back, if you plan to use the camera or external display, you can insert the cable through this back slot. Now we'll switch over to the PC and install PiOS Trixie to the micro SD card, the latest version of PiOS. If you don't already have Pi Imager, you can download it from the link below, then simply click Choose Device and select Raspberry Pi 5. Then click Choose OS and select Raspberry Pi OS 64-bit Trixie. Under Choose Storage, select your microSD card, then click Next. When prompted to apply OS customization settings, select No. If you're sure you selected the correct device, click Yes. The image will then be downloaded and installed to the microSD card. This will take a few minutes, so I'll go ahead and skip ahead. Once done, click Continue. Close out a Pi Imager and safely eject your microSD card. Now remove the microSD card from the reader and insert it into the microSD slot on the bottom of the case. Plug in the micro HDMI cable into HDMI 0, then connect a keyboard and a mouse to the USB 2.0 ports on the back of the Pironman 5 mini case. Plug in the power and the Pi will boot up. Now we'll transition over to video capture and complete the setup. Now we'll quickly step through the installation. At the welcome screen, click Next. Select your country, language, and time zone. A little tip, instead of scrolling, just press the first letter on the keyboard to jump to those starting with a certain letter, like Central for Central Time Zone. If you're using English and a US keyboard, click the check boxes, then click Next. Enter a username and password that you'll use to log into the Pi, confirm your password, and click Next. Select your Wi-Fi network name or SSID, and click Next. Enter your Wi-Fi password, and again click Next. Select your default browser, I'll leave it set for Chromium, and click Next. You'll now be prompted if you'd like to update the software. I highly recommend that you do, so go ahead and click Next. This will take a few minutes, so I'll skip forward. Once done, click OK and launch. You'll notice something interesting with Pi OS Trixie here. I didn't have to reboot the Pi after the updates. I'd like to mention in this new version of Pi OS Desktop, when you click the browser icon, you'll be prompted to enter a keyring password. For me personally, I just click Continue without entering one. Otherwise, you'll be prompted every time you launch the browser to enter a password. We installed Pi OS Desktop in this video as the primary operating system that most users are going to want to start out with. But you aren't at all limited to Pi OS Desktop. Under Accessories, you'll find Raspberry Pi Imager. From here, you can install any other operating system to your SSD that you wish. Now, instead of going through the entire setup procedure for Pi OS Desktop again, there is a faster way. Go to Accessories and SD Card Copier. From here, in the Copy from Device dropdown, select the drive that has MMC somewhere in the path, which is your microSD card. In the Copy to Device, select the drive that has NVMe somewhere in the path, which is of course your NVMe SSD. Also note, this won't work if you're using the AI Accelerator instead of an SSD. If you're sure you're okay with the NVMe drive being erased, click Yes. The contents of your microSD will then be written to the NVMe drive. Once done, click OK and close out of SD Card Copier. Then go to Logout, select Shutdown, wait until the Pi is completely shut down. Now remove the SD card, power on the Pi, and you'll boot directly into Pi OS Desktop from the NVMe SSD. Next, we need to set up the Pironman 5 software so that we can control the LED colors, fan, and other options. I'll place a link in the video description below to SunFounder's documentation so you can follow along. In the first step, we need to edit the EEPROM configuration file. Open a terminal, and then copy and paste this command into the terminal and press Enter. There's only one change you should make here, and that is to change the power off on halt to 1. Don't change the boot order value here, as your Pi may not boot from the NVMe SSD if you do. After making the change, press Ctrl and X at the same time, then Y and Enter to save and exit the editor. Now skip to step 2 and copy these commands. Right-click in the terminal, select Paste, and press enter. This will download and install the Pironman software on the Pi 5. Once done, press Y and enter to restart the Pi. Now that the Pi is restarted, you can access the Pironman 5 dashboard by entering the IP address on port 34001 in the browser. This can be run from another computer on your network or locally on the Pi. To run it on the Pi, enter localhost 34001. From here, you can monitor the temperature, storage, RAM, network, and processors. And if you click the icon in the upper right, you can customize various options, such as enabling dark mode in the UI, showing all 4 CPU cores, and much more. You can change the RGB color, brightness, style, and speed. And if you click the circle icon for the RGB color, it'll bring up a color wheel that allows you to adjust the fan RGB color. The style can be changed to a number of options, including solid, breathing, flow, rainbow, and more. I'll select a few options here so you can get a good idea of how it works. From my website at wagnerstechtalk.com/rpi5, I installed Stress to max out all 4 cores at 100% over several minutes. The maximum temperature I saw was 73 degrees Celsius, which is not nearly as good as the other Pironman 5 models with the Ice Tower cooler. Those came in at around 60.9 degrees. When it comes to the best cooling option for your Pi, the Pironman 5 Mini ran around 12 degrees higher. Not enough to reach thermal throttling, which is 80 degrees, but something to note. One more important aspect of the Pironman 5 Mini is that after installing the Pironman 5 software, you do have a safe shutdown mode. Simply press the front button once to bring up the shutdown menu, and a second time to completely shut down the Pi. If you're looking for a cool mini PC case for your Raspberry Pi 5, the Pironman 5 Mini is a good option, and I'll have affiliate links in the description below if you want to pick one up. The cooling is not the best of all the different Pironman 5 models, but it's also substantially cheaper and certainly capable of keeping your Pi cool enough. The assembly process is much easier than other Pironman 5 models, which many will appreciate. However, if you want a Pi case with dual NVMe slots and an OLED front display, you may find the Pironman 5 Max more to your liking. Let me know what you think of the Pironman 5 Mini. Do you own one or plan on picking one up? I'd like to hear what you think. If you appreciate concise yet detailed content like this, please let me know by clicking the like button. Subscribe to the channel for even more. And with that, I look forward to talking with you again very soon.